Welcome everyone back to another week and another episode here at Better Love Live and the Better Love Podcast. I am so honored and pleased to bring today John Robinson Jr., the founder and CEO of Joy Plus app. Welcome. Let's cheers to that. It's been a minute. Cheers. Oh my goodness. So I definitely want you to share with everyone what inspired you to create the Joy Plus app. What is it about? All the things.
Joy Plus is a social media company that gives you a gratitude journal and a vision board. And it also connects you with coaches and mentors all in one place.
Wow.
Yes.
And why was that important to you?
To be honest with you, 2020 was such a rough year. So many people were dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression. And I knew the time was now to engineer such an app. I thought it would take me 6 months. It ended up taking me a year, but that's okay. It was launched about 4 months ago. And Joy Plus now is downloaded all around the world. Barcelona, Athens, Munich, the Maldives, Colombia.
That must be
thousands of downloads.
Interesting for you to see these people being impacted globally. Was that your vision?
That is totally the right word to use, the impact. And that's the most important part about Joy Plus, is really about inverting that stress and anxiety that we mentioned from the top. Mm-hmm. The whole idea is to be grateful for what you have in the moment and to have high hope for the future. And that, Carmelia, is when you're in your zone. Mm-hmm. And that is when you're able to hit at your peak performance.
So interesting. You said you thought it was going to take 6 months. It took a year. We are August 2020. 2021.
Yes.
Can you believe that?
Yes.
So did you have Joy Plus in your brain, or is this the birth of a pandemic solution? When did you put, thought on paper to become a reality?
I wrote a book titled Joy and Love. It's right here, actually.
Yes, please share the viewers.
Yeah. Joy and Love, maximize joy in your life and love in the world. The e-version is available on Apple iBooks as well as Amazon.
When did you
I published that in 2013.
Okay.
The idea is to maximize joy in your life and love in the world. I broke it down how to achieve these two auspicious goals using one formula. And then you apply
There's a formula.
Yes, the formula is love energy.
Love energy. I love that.
Here.
Okay.
The way I describe love energy is sort of like when you're breathing, you inhale faith, confidence, gratitude. When you're exhaling, and the way you treat other people is with compassion, empowerment, and a guiding hand. Carmelia, that is when answers, clues, and rewards really open up in your life on how you are to achieve your desired end results. I broke it down, 16 chapters, referenced some of the greatest thinkers the world has ever seen. Mahatma Gandhi, Princess Diana, Nelson Mandela, Bob Marley, Barack Obama.
This is a serious, the weight in this book, this is the amount of knowledge in this book because it's a heavy guy.
Thank you. Yeah, it keeps going.
It is thick.
So what was super important was to simplify it, right? Not everyone has time to read this big, thick book, even though there's a lot of tangible, hardcover book lovers, of course. But so many people around the world would love to have a simplified digital version on how to increase love energy in their life and achieve their desired end results. And that's what Joy Plus is all about, a digital solution.
So what were the most important elements? I'm hearing the gratitude, the access to coaches like myself.
Yes.
And
Carmelia is on the app, by the way, as the key relationship coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But you've also got coaches in other fields. It's very holistic, right? I believe have you got life coaches? Do you have therapists?
You're
what can you expect?
Life coaches, business coaches. You're the relationship coach. There is nutritionist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Entrepreneur coach, finance coach. It keeps going. It keeps
going. Anything to make your life better. Okay.
One of the beginning of your question is really what is sort of the key elements, the pillars of Joy Plus. And there's really 4 ways people typically think. They're either, and I think we've all been in each one of these 4 different elements. A, you're happy with the moment, but you not really thinking about your future. It's kind of living irresponsibly. Invert that, where you're not happy with the moment, but you do know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I've definitely been there, but that is how anxiety builds.
Okay.
The worst way of thinking is when you're not happy with the moment and you don't have high hope for the future. Unfortunately, this is depression. So many people get stuck in there. That's a tough
People
place
live
to be.
and breathe in that space.
So I'm super empathetic towards that. I've
Yeah.
definitely been there at one point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So the ultimate way to live is to flip that completely. Be happy with the moment. Be grateful. Have high hope for the future. Be optimistic. And this is how we're able to live our best life. And for those that want to take their skills and talents to the next level,
Yeah.
they go into the mentor marketplace. They find someone such as yourself,
Yes.
Carmelia.
Okay.
And they get the guiding
elevate.
hand.
They
They elevate
elevate.
themselves.
Or they could be in the, I kind of saw these quadrants, right? Like where you're moving through those quadrants from, low, no hope, no future to high hopes, high future, like the
Yes.
high happiness, that scale. And so I can see how coaches as well, even in my life, I've been through a divorce. I've been through loss of health. I've been through all kinds of things. And I recall in those areas when I did it alone. And then I recall when I had assistance and I had a professional. So it would have taken me longer to get to my destination. Journaling is like a hot thing right now. What's in the power of journaling? Is there a science to it? Why does journaling seem to be the answer for people?
In terms of the science, when you recall things that you're grateful for the day, that's when oxytocin, serotonin, chemicals get released in your brain and allow you to actually feel good. So if you're able to, for instance, we all have bad days. You could go back into the journaling, those days where you're feeling amazing, recall those moments, and you'll be able to release those exact same chemicals that went off the first time around. So now you're able to feel good again simply by going back and remind yourself what you're grateful for.
What about people who journal about their bad experiences? Like, what is it about writing down the heartbreak or the heartache? Or are you specifically saying in your heartache and in your heartbreak, still find joy? Like, what do you think about that?
The way I think about that, sure, most viewers are familiar with the law of attraction.
Yes.
The things that you say manifest themselves to reality.
Yes.
The example in the book, The Secret, if you say, I don't want to run into any red lights, I'm late for work. Bang, red light, red light, red light, right?
It's like, I didn't mean to say that.
So same goes for life. If you are journaling, I do not want another bad relationship. Bang, what might happen?
Man.
So my thoughts and my own personal opinion is write down the things that you're grateful for. And then when it comes to things that you want to achieve that you haven't achieved yet, write them down as if not you might make it happen or you can make it happen, that you will make it happen.
You will. Okay, there's the distinction. I hope it's I am, this will be, right? As if it's already present in your life.
100%.
Okay, let me ask you, when is the last time specifically that you wrote something in your journal and it manifested itself?
Oh, it happens all the time.
Give me an example.
Just purchased a vehicle.
I saw that. It's a nice car.
So,
a reward for your hard work, right?
Yeah. So, not to be materialistic.
Sure.
There's things that are much more important than a car, but it was a dream car that I had in mind, and I put it in my vision board, manifested it to reality. Also, just having more conversations about Joy Plus. And that is something that I put into my vision board. Here we are, we're sitting down and we're talking about it.
I manifested you into that chair.
So it could be the smallest of things when it comes to when you're vision boarding. And then when it comes to being grateful, it doesn't have to be something that's this big ticket item. It could be simply, I'm thankful for having a roof over my head, hot cup of coffee,
Anything.
anything, family members, etc.
So what can you share with people who are in that sort of dark place, right? Who sometimes I've coached across from someone that couldn't think of a thing to be grateful for. How do you get through to someone like that? Or is it our job then to kind of let them know, hey, can you be grateful for being alive? Or can you be grateful for your eyesight? Because look, these are things we all take for granted.
Let's just be straight up. We all had tough, most people have had tragic things happen to them in their lives, and they vary. I'll share something that's tragic that happened to me in my life. And I'm already starting to stutter because it's a tough situation. I lost a sibling, and it was 22 years ago. It took me about 10 years to be able to even have that conversation.
An older sibling or
younger? It was an older sibling. He was 24, I was 20, and he committed suicide. And it's super tough to talk about. And it took me a couple of years to be able to even have regular conversations with people, much less without breaking down. So where I'm going with this, even though it's still tough, is regardless of what it is that someone might be going through, no matter how tough the tragedy is, I was still able to find joy later on in life. And no matter how many bad things has happened to me, always found a way to persevere and achieve joy once again. So the point that I'm really making is that more good times are coming, just like they came before. And just like you got through past tribulation, you will get past this current tribulation that you're currently in right now. Mm-hmm. So continue, even though you may not be happy with the moment, remain optimistic for the future, and that will be the catalyst for you to get out of it.
So thank you for sharing that. And I had no idea. And I have never experienced that personal situation, but I've heard about, not in my immediate family, but it's, suicide has happened, depression has happened. There have been probably more suicides and attempted suicides and anxiety and depression because of the pandemic. And do you believe that situation in your personal life, like, you're committed to bringing more joy in the world, right? Like, imagine this is the kind of app that could save lives. Could it not?
Absolutely. Carmelia, joy is contagious. When you are scrolling through the timeline and you're seeing other people, what they're grateful for, the simplest things, sunshine.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for sunshine.
I love summer.
Me too.
So that will spark something in you, and you will do the same for others. Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely. Mental health is a very serious thing. I'm super empathetic towards people going through tough times, and there's different variations. However, just like we chatted about before, if finding something to be grateful for is difficult for you in this current moment, I understand. Reach out to someone that's just willing to listen. Talking it out is also super helpful.
So I'd like to talk about the startup process, and you're now a tech entrepreneur, right? You own a tech. Is it a technology company? Is that considered?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Full engineering team, marketing director. We're hiring.
What was your background before you decided to build this app? And did you maintain a regular occupation? Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur? Tell me about the path from working in corporate at one point, right? Working in corporate at one point to making the dive of, I'm going to build this app. And I don't know if you have any technology backgrounds. Can you share that story with us?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you asked me this, because for all the entrepreneurs or the budding entrepreneurs, this is a conversation that they love having.
Yes,
and I love having. So
having.
Let's get straight to it. Yes, I did come from a tech corporation background. Just a couple of years at a sort of a reputable education technology company.
Okay.
about 350 employees. They had a reputation for only hiring innovative people. I say that humbly. I say that humbly.
Okay.
But the reason why I mentioned that is because I was able to learn a ton on how to scale and how to be able to make sure that the functions within the app have impact and it's also intuitive for people to use. So I was able to take some of that knowledge and then develop my own app. So from actually it's funny because January 2020, I got a new job with a smaller 20 employees, a director at a communications company.
That was your title?
I was a director of communications. Okay. I was coaching C-suite execs at Google, Toyota, TD Bank, U of T, et cetera, on their corporate communications. The pandemic hit, social uprising hit. I had a talk with American Express, 300 of their employees, about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Great conversation in terms of making sure that there are more diverse people in leadership positions, not just the front line.
Yeah.
And of course, during this time, summer 2020, it just dawned on me, we all know the Mahatma Gandhi quote, be the change you wish to see in the world. And it was time to be that change. And it was time to take the methodology that I wrote about and make it a social media company. Here we are.
So did you quit that job?
I quit. I fired my boss.
What? Yeah. Sorry, boss, if you're watching. Was your boss supportive? Did you explain what you were up to?
100. She was a very good boss.
Okay.
I loved her because I knew she was going to be my last boss. And we had a great relationship. And we sat down and she did try to save me at first. But then she knew that where my passion was. And you needed this to be a full-time thing. And I needed it. So at that point, she was like, you know what, go forth. I got your back. Let me know if you need anything. And wow. It was a very clean, it was a clean breakup.
I love that. I fired my boss. I said the same thing in 2010 when I left my company at a matchmaking firm to do my own thing. And I started a blog, but it was still scary. Was there any part... I mean, you seem like, bam, clear as day. This is what you're doing. Has there been any part of the entrepreneurial and startup journey that you're like, what the heck did I do? Any part of it at all? And if no's the answer, that's fine.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Okay.
However, of course, I get nervous.
Yeah.
I always feel like that when you are nervous, it should make you sharper. It means you're growing, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So... okay, I'm growing. I'm in a new comfort space. Now is the time to just be a sponge and learn as much as I possibly could. I got accepted into the Ryerson DMZ incubator program. It was tough to get into. They had about
What is that? What's the DMZ?
It's a incubator of other tech entrepreneurs, sort of at the same stage.
How did you hear about it?
It's DMZ is sort of a popular Ryerson incubator.
Okay.
So, you search incubators, DMZ will pop up amongst a few others. So, they had 200 applicants. They let in 25. I was one of the 25.
You were?
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Got in. And then not just one of the 25, I was leading that baby. So I was in there
were you as part of the incubator program, did they give you the resources to their tech and the engineers? Is that how this happened?
Yeah.
Did they give you the funding?
No funding.
What did they give you?
No funding, but they do give you just a lot of advice and expertise and one-on-one sessions from others that have done it before.
It would have been costly had you not had it.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful, 100%. If you get into an incubator, some of them do provide funding. Mm-hmm. So if you get into an incubator, it's a good thing. But then the knowledge and the experience is priceless. So good to be around peers. And then, but you know how we are, Carmelia.
Sure.
We once we get into a space, people start, asking us questions and we start leading.
Yes. Talk to me about a vision board. You'll be surprised, but I still have never made a vision board. I am going to. I just started doing the gratitude journal.
Okay.
And I'm going to be making that a daily practice on the Joy Plus app. But for people who've never done a vision board, is there a formula? Is there something you would suggest? Do you cover like every area of your life? Because I see some people's vision boards and they got the yacht and the mansion and the this, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what would be the first step in curating a vision board?
The beauty of having a vision board is that it gives you the platform to dream.
I like that.
And there's nothing wrong with how big you want to dream. It really started off the old-fashioned way: get a pair of scissors and go cut up a bunch of magazines and put the
Collage
picture of the porch on your wall and stare at it while you fall asleep. But the whole idea is, we talked a lot about manifesting. Of course, saying it, what you want to achieve, works. But saying it and visualizing it and seeing it. And then when you look, for me, I use my vision board full throttle. And it becomes a North Star for me. Anytime you have a long day and there's like 20 things happening at the same time, and your mind gets jumbled up with like all these directions, open up your vision board. It's a North Star. It refocuses you on what's really important. And, you know, it could just be a few things that you really want to achieve this year. And that aligns you to your purpose.
So how does it work within the app confine? Because the vision board, are there different squares within that? Like, how does it work practically within the app? In
the app, it prompts you, Carmelia, what will you achieve in the future?
Okay.
And you take it from there. So
I can add a photo.
Yes, you add a photo and a description. So the image
photo and description. Okay, so it looks like an Instagram feed.
It does look like an Instagram feed.
Rather than this board.
Right. So
do I share this with people or is it private?
You have a choice. You could public or private. You got to switch it on or off.
Okay, great.
So here's the innovative part about the Joy Plus vision board. In the top right corner is a achieved button. You know, we got our to-do list. We like to check off what we've achieved. So click achieve to what you've completed.
What you've completed.
And then something cool happens. Words of affirmation flash across the screen. It could say, "You rock, you're a superstar, great job." There's a bunch of different words of affirmation. So look forward to achieving your vision. I'm not going to stop there. The biggest innovation of Joy Plus is when you post in both. We talked about being happy with the moment and high hope for the future, putting you in your peak performance. So when you post in gratitude and vision within 24 hours, you actually gain access to a chat room with others that are at the same stage.
Can you accept or decline, or just automatically?
You're right in the chat room. You don't have to chat if you don't want to.
Yeah, sure.
If you're feeling antisocial, you don't got to type anything.
Okay.
But if you want to start talking with people that are also feeling grateful and optimistic, and you never know what kind of connection you may make in the Zone chat room, it's there for you. And that is...
I'm automatically thinking dating app, new dating app. Oh my God.
Yes.
So you must have, are you a fan of Marie Kondo?
Okay, explain.
Marie Kondo is the woman who is the professional organizer. And one of the things she asks, her top question, if you're in the closet or she's like the queen of declutter, she'll say, does this bring you joy? Like if this item does not bring you joy, it's gone. And once you are releasing, you literally hold the item. I'm not going to hold that book because that's going to bring me a lot of joy. But if it's that shirt that, it's been there for 3 years. Thank you you practice gratitude with the item. Thank you for the joy you brought me. Or that's the thing. Joy is, you got to connect with her.
Okay.
Or find out more about her, Marie Kondo. You need like a clutter expert. That brings me joy when I can clean my space.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because
I
totally streamlined my closet this past weekend. I donated a big bag to Goodwill.
Oh, amazing.
And you just feel so free when you declutter. I love decluttering.
Yeah.
So when joy is Thank you for the good time sweater.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Thank you for the good. Thank you. These jeans gotta go. Yeah, there were a lot of good times in these jeans. Yeah, so that's what you do, is that you thank things and then you surround yourself and your environment with what's joyful. And if it's not bringing you joy, you get rid of it. And guess what? Your garbage is going to be somebody else's treasure, right?
It will be. The weight of removing what's not necessary, it just gives you the space to be even more creative, sharper, more intuitive, and at your peak performance. So I highly recommend removing the junk in your life, whether it be things or people.
We need to, scrub our Facebook list and stuff. I get that. I so get that. All right. So what's the hope for you and the vision for Joy Plus app? How did you want your users to consume this, to be part of it? What was your vision for that? Yeah,
the whole idea is impact. What can I do to help people feel more grateful, optimistic, and at their peak performance on a global scale? It's funny, the opening paragraph of Joy and Love, I was like, I didn't know the answer then, but I wrote, just talking to myself, how can I inspire others to live their best life on a world scale? So Joy Plus is the answer. So now that Joy Plus is starting to grow around the world, the idea is just to continue watching it scale and then just keep iterating.
Amazing. All right. You know what? I was going to actually have you come back to do a segment just on dating, but seeing that, I think a joyful person is more attractive, really, than somebody who's grumpy and, negative Nelly and whatever. When it comes to seeking a partner, what is it that's important for you as a currently single person? Currently single?
Correct.
Okay, currently single entrepreneur. What are the things that are most important for you in seeking somebody out?
3 simple things. I'll be very straight up with you and not mince it at all.
Okay, ladies, take the pen out. All right.
First thing is an attraction. I think we're all looking for an attraction.
Yes.
Of course. However, it's not the most important thing. It's the first thing that I labeled, but not the most important.
Okay. So that's what catches your attention.
It catches your attention, yes. And that's where you take your first step.
The intrigue, okay?
Thank you. Number 2, and this, I love a woman with drive. I love a woman that's going after her passion. I am huge into women empowerment. I actually might be a feminist deep inside. I really think I am. So if she's going after her passion, I will be 100% her biggest supporter, her number 1 fan. She says, I'm thinking about firing my boss. I'm like, do it!
Oh my God. Best feeling in the world. How much is your salary again? Who cares? Oh my God. Okay.
So, and then of course, I love strategy. So we'll be whiteboarding together. Her goal, my goal is for her to be completely successful in her goal. So it's basically both of our goals.
Amazing. Okay. And what's the third thing?
The third thing might be the most important. As important as these 2 things are.
Oh, man, what is that?
Meeting of the minds.
Okay.
You know how we are. We just talked about streamlining, especially when it comes to people. I have a very loving family. My parents, fortunately, are still together, very much in love. Aww. 76 and 68, they're dating like teenagers. They moved to Jamaica on top of a hill overlooking the Caribbean Sea. And
have you seen them during the pandemic at all?
We're video calling, and they're actually going to be traveling up soon. But just this past weekend, it was my mother's birthday weekend. So they went to a villa across the island and had a little romantic time. I'm like, you guys, I don't want to know the details.
Oh my goodness.
So,
that's good. By the way, John, I don't know if you want to close your ears, but apparently sex is best in your 60s. And they're still doing it at 70s.
Don't tell me. My mom and dad. Oh my God. So the whole idea really is I need someone that is just generally optimistic. Everyone has bad days, including myself.
Sure.
But I'm not doing pessimistic Patty.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not
I love
doing that.
I've never heard that one.
I just made it up.
Okay, pessimistic Patty, swipe left, swipe left. That being said, what do you experience the mistakes that women make on dating apps, or just in general while they're dating?
Well, let's just personally, the three things that are important to me. Number one, with the attraction, I need to see an authentic look. I'm not into the filters and the Snapchat bunny ears and deception. I'm going to be very honest with you. Not all women do it, but a strong percentage is about making sure, dark angles and glasses and hats and masks on. If I can't see you, if I feel like
that always boggles my mind. How are you leading with a mask on dating app? And I'm thinking her teeth are jacked.
Deception, right?
Yeah.
So I need to be able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And you know what? It doesn't matter. Everyone has different body types. No one has a perfect body type. For me, confidence is so sexy. I don't care. What I particularly like curves. So if you are like, you don't mind. I don't mind. Just show it. Just be confident with it. Don't try and
hide it.
So that's number one. And then the second, I pay very close attention to detail on what they say. If their entire profile says, "I don't want this," if you're looking for this, swipe left. You're already bad energy.
Guess what they're attracting? All those things. You know what? This is when you DM them Joy Plus app, right? Joy Plus app. Okay, so where can people add more joy in their life? Please share with them, right to the camera, how they reach you, how they connect on the app.
The Joy Plus app is available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just type in Joy Plus and you will be able to download the app so you could get your gratitude journal, get your vision board, go into the mentor marketplace, find Carmelia and others, and take your skills and talent to the next level. I'm in there as a mentor as well. I talk to other entrepreneurs. And if you want to DM me, whether it be about business or anything else, I have actually a very quick response time. I'm always on my app, so you can definitely find me there.
There you go. Finally, before we go, top 3 books that have brought you the most joy.
I just finished reading The Shoe Dog,
okay.
The creator of Nike. And he's got some wild stories in there. He started off when he was 17 years old.
What's his name?
Phil. Last name is Casey, but it's going to come back to me probably when we end this session.
Okay. Phil,
Phil Knight. His name is Phil Knight.
Knight. I thought you were going to say Phil Nike, and I'm like, you didn't know his last name? Come on, man.
Amazing story. Started when he was 17. He went to Japan to sell a shoe called Onitsuka Tiger. Had like this deal where he only had this small little territory.
What country is he from? Is he American, German?
He's American from Oregon.
Okay.
Ended up...
The creator of Nike is an American from Oregon?
Absolutely.
How old is he?
Right now, he's in his 70s.
Billionaire, yeah?
Billionaire, yes. And did well for himself, obviously. That's one book. Another book, Dreams from My Father by Barack Obama. He's a huge inspiration of mine. This was before he became the president. So he wrote it when he was 33. It was actually the same age I was writing. I'm aging myself right now, but that's okay. I read Enjoy and Love at around the age of 33 as well. That's when and you just feel the rawness, the hunger, the optimism. He's not president yet, but he's thinking like he will be.
Did he say?
Did he proclaim? You know what he's going for.
Wow.
But he is like a youngin'. He didn't even hit senator yet. We're talking young Barack.
Right.
Still smoking weed, Barack.
Oh my God.
That's the Barack that wrote Dreams from My Father. That is a good read. And then just to finish this off, The Celestine Prophecy by James Redman. He talks a lot about energy. And it really inspired me to talk more about love energy and elaborate from my own perspective.
Do you do a book a week, a book a year? It seems like you're quite well read.
Thank you. I didn't put a target on it, even though I have certain books in my vision board.
Okay.
I probably do about one a month.
Wow. Okay. Any relationship books that you've read or self-development? What would be a top book for that category?
I always feel like if I'm going to do a joint partnership, one of the books that is a prerequisite would be The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Yeah. And that is just fundamental business 101, win-win agreements, and just how to
win
people.
Friends and influence people. Did you read that? Dale Carnegie?
Yeah, that one is a classic. Yes, I have read that book. And that is a good one too.
That's awesome. Well, John, it's been incredible. Cheers to your success.
And yours.
Your future. Thank you. Guys, you can download the app Joy Plus. Follow them at Joy Plus on Instagram. I will make sure we have all the tags and look out for what I'm grateful for. Currently, I'm so grateful for you for creating this app, your book, our friendship, and I look forward to more collaborations in the future.
Lots of love, Carmelia. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.